Well, my new intro ain't as good as I thought it was going to be. It's uh,
Did you comb your hair?
I didn't even comb my hair today. I tried to make the end of it there good, but I messed up. Um, Dina's here with me.
Somewhere, hey.
We're a little bit sad now because we just got to see our son for about 20 minutes, an hour maybe, and we're in Nashville, and we're supposed to head out tomorrow, but I don't know. We may get a campground up here somewhere, and I
Okay,
don't
you
know.
need to stop. You're making me cry.
All right. Well, it was a sad day all around for a lot of folks. We've learned tonight through an autopsy of Gabby Petito that was definitely her and found in the Grand Tetons, and that she died of a homicide. And I think we all pretty much knew that, but um, it was confirmed tonight, about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. Um, so it's very sad for them. However, you know, I believe that Brian is it if he entered that wooded area, if his parents are telling the truth, then he may went out there to harm himself. Um, there are a lot of speculation. He has hiked a lot of the Appalachian Trail himself, so somebody said they thought he might try to make his way up there. Um, they had what they thought was a sighting in Mobile, Alabama, around Tillman's Corner, which is a very area of a lot of transient people. It's near the interstate, and there was some crowd gathered around one of the Walmarts in that area because they had found a deceased male in a dumpster out there,
Oh, God.
and they did confirm that it is not Brian. But that is bad. But Mobile is a dangerous town, and they have probably two or three homicides a week over there. It seems like every time, if you're anywhere where you can pick up the news, it's just
Every day they find a body in
ever
Pritchard.
find yeah they find a body. They find there was it was about every week they're finding a body near an old school out there on Dolphin Island Parkway. But so it didn't surprise me. But big crowd gathered out there. I saw a picture of the news about it. But they because somebody had rumored that it was Brian, but it turns out it's not Brian. And I didn't think when somebody saw possibly up there that it was him. I just didn't know. I mean, why would he be up in this area or up in that area? Um, if he's on the run, he's running with no money, other than maybe I don't know if he's got money or not, but
His parents
no
may have given
car.
him money.
His parents may
I
have.
think I think they
Well,
ought to be
the
arrested.
FBI did. There was a thing on the news today. I looked and it said parents of Brian Laundrie arrested, but that is not true. They were not arrested. What happened was, after I read the article, they were at the search warrant of their house. They were taken out and put in a van. They were detained, and but they were let go after the search warrant. They mainly just for their safety. They didn't want them to get in the way. Didn't want to hide anything. You know, it's just you know safety of the officers and everything else. Um,
I agree, Maddie. I think the parents are helping him. I think they've been helping him.
well, the FBI said that there's a. I was about to yawn.
I know.
Uh, the FBI said that I got to show you this.
If she doesn't move.
That's what we got looking at us right now. Just the head over there is looking straight back at us. Uh, Maggie, it's okay. It's okay. Um, the FBI said that his parents could be charged with aiding and abetting, obstruction of
No,
justice,
no, Maggie,
and a bunch of other stuff.
Maggie.
So there is a chance that his parents are going to go to jail. Um, yeah, the autopsy was really quick because of the fact that it's a high profile case. The manner of death, they've said is a homicide, but they didn't say how she died. Now, um, the reason why they may have blunt blunt force trauma, they may have bullet wound, whatever, or she might have they may there is something they want to get the tox report first. They just don't know how that goes. Um, I hope that it's sooner than later, but I just got a real bad feeling that he's out there in that swamp somewhere dead, and because of the facts that um, you know he it depends on what he told his parents to start with,
Uh-uh.
and what
I'm talking to Maggie, not you.
uh, I didn't know.
I don't
I
say
don't know
things
what you're
like
saying.
that to you. I don't say, uh-uh.
I think if the parents were told, if he came home and said, "Hey, I accidentally did this, or I hit her with a rock," or we don't know, but sooner or later the parents, if you know, here's the thing: if if he did tell his parents what happened, and then he say he went out in the woods and did something to himself, then they may never tell it because they may not want to tarnish their son's reputation. That it's but here's what you got to understand. Um, the parents of Gabby could sue Brian and the state of Brian. If Brian does hurt himself, they could sue the parents and force them to testify on what happened. Um, Maggie, what are you
It's okay.
doing?
She's jumping from one seat to the other.
Okay. So it's like when the when OJ got sued. Excuse me, I didn't sleep at all hardly last night. I mean, hardly at all.
Yeah, he says that every night. I'm gonna
Well, that
start singing
last
to you.
night,
I'm gonna start singing. I didn't sleep at all last
no,
night.
last night I could not sleep. I had my mind was running 100 miles an hour. They could sue just like they sued OJ. The family that sued OJ for wrongful death. They could sue Brian or his estate or the parents, saying, "Look, you knew what was going on, and you didn't do anything about it," and they could force them to tell what they know. And so there are ways to get around it. Uh, my eyes water when I yawn. I can't help it. Okay. Well, I tell you the one thing that I did look into was the affidavit. I wanted to talk about that Barry's affidavit that came out. I understand when Barry got released from jail today that he smiled to the cameras as he went down the stairs, left jail, which I hope they put a ankle monitor on him. But I do want to take one last look here of Gabby when she was alive. It's just very, very sad. A girl in the prime of her life, in the prime of her life, is was taken off this earth. It is very, very sad. And I'm wondering. Here's where they basically found her. A couple of guys on horseback found her. I kind of think they found a grave, a shallow grave. Um, but we don't. I guess we won't know till later on. But this is the area by the maps
Maggie.
of it. Uh, Spread Creek Road.
Okay, now I want to tell y'all something. Thomas does not believe that the two murders of the two girls in their tents is connected, but the fact that they had coffee in one of the girls' coffee shops and the fact that they were seen talking to Gabby, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past me. And Gabby had a gun supposedly.
Well, no, it wasn't Gabby. Brian supposedly had a
Okay,
gun.
one of them had a gun.
I don't think they are connected because
He was 23, Jonathan.
Brian was the. It was a. I think it was more of a. Going to turn out to be a passion killing, jealousy, passion killing.
Yeah, but these two murders happened too close.
They did happen real close, but the police have already said that they're not connected. So obviously they know something we don't.
Maybe they're
Maybe.
not looking in the right place like we are.
No, 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 no. We're yeah, they're out there. They're out there investigating it, but we're
Well, in my
just
world,
because in
in
your
my
world,
in my
yeah,
little world,
your little
I
world.
have. You shouldn't make me watch those shows all the time about killings. That was an ice maker.
Okay. Uh, Going back here, we're gonna talk about something here. A little bit of this very affidavit, and I tell you, I looked all over this affidavit. I noticed they didn't have anything in the. Wait, what?
Okay, wait. They're still talking about Gabby. Give them a minute
All
to
right.
catch up with you. Okay, so did the coroner say what happened to Gabby?
Says she died by homicide. That's all they're saying right now. Any
He
more stuff will have to wait till after the tox comes back.
okay. Brian also saw them in a bar near his hotel. That couple.
Yeah, but you got to look. This guy Brian had never been in trouble before that we know of. It's going to be a stretch for him to do three murders.
But now, what if Gabby told those girls that he was beating on her, and that she was going to leave him, and he knew that she had. I mean, hey, you ain't leaving me, and I'm gonna get rid of everybody that thinks you are.
I
Okay.
don't think so.
Brian was reading a book on missing women.
Yeah, I know he was that I understand he was.
Okay, we're gonna be right, and you're gonna be wrong.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Also, wait till you hear, and I'm sure y'all have. I read the entire affidavit yesterday,
He did,
and
y'all.
I made some notes on it. It took me a long time because I really wanted to make sure that I got everything. I noticed in the affidavit, Barry Morphew we're talking about here, they didn't mention anything about uh, the charges for moving or destroying evidence or a body or whatever. They didn't mention anything in there. They didn't mention anything about, uh, he was charged also with attempt to bribe a elected official or something like that. They didn't say anything about that in there that I've seen. Maybe if y'all have saw something that I didn't. Um, because it was just after a while it was just kind of like they went on and on and on about uh, about everything. They did something that I really did think that was really really smart of them. They basically brought Barry in and showed him everything they had, and say, "Now you tell me where are we wrong here?" And of course he's because he told so many different stories about things that happened. Um,
They're still talking about Gabby. Sorry.
what are y'all's feelings about Gabby? I know y'all still talking about her. Um,
Maybe he, yeah, there you go. Maybe he killed the women, and that's why Gabby was so afraid
what's his motive for killing the women?
because she had been talking to them, and maybe they were encouraging her to get away from him or whatever.
I don't think that he'd kill anybody over something like that. I really don't think.
There have been people killed over a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I don't think so. No.
What?
That first off, police officers out there have ruled that out.
Y'all, you can't see the RV right now, but it's all closed up.
Yeah, we've
So,
got the RV closed
so we
completely
have
up.
no room for putting our. I mean, we can't even get the chairs out right. But anyway,
Um,
what are they going to do to Brian if they find him?
well, they keep calling him a person of interest. I really believe if the coroner comes back and says she died of blunt force trauma, which could be somebody hit her upside the head, then I think they have a lot of circumstantial evidence.
Carson said it's possibly he killed the women, and that's why Gabby was scared. And then somebody down here said, "Wait a minute, comp two." That's what I think happened too.
Here's the thing, though.
Maggie,
You need motive. Why? What is the reason
till
why he
death
would?
do us part.
What was the reason he would kill the women?
Well, what if she had said, "Can you please get a message to my parents?" And before they could do that,
Yeah, but
I
I
mean
mean,
that. Yeah, that's it's far
it
fetched.
is far fetched because she knows she'd pick up the phone to call him.
Not necessarily.
I
What
don't
didn't they only
think.
have one phone?
I don't think that. I don't think that's it. Um.
Why would they say murder? Why would they say murders were connected before he is found?
I never
And
heard.
Brian is not that stable.
I never heard that they even considered the murders connected. I heard that they were going to look at it because of the. It was in the same. It was in the same park.
Same
Um,
park, same coffee shop.
but the park was huge. It's like 32,000 acres. It's not like we're talking about a park that everybody goes to. I don't know. I just don't. If the police out there are saying we don't find any connection or they are not connected, I tend to take their word for it. They're
Okay.
out there and we're not.
But they said a creepy guy was around, right? And
Yeah.
he is a creepy guy.
Yeah.
And maybe that was before.
Maybe he wanted their drugs.
Yeah, they said they found drugs in the van.
Okay. Are we talking about marijuana or
Okay,
what?
Sketty. Shake. Shake.
What?
Shake. We
I
agree
agree
to disagree.
disagree. All right, real gone Gonzo. Hello.
Hey, Gonzo.
Uh,
Excuse you.
but regardless, I do believe that Brian is either on the run or he's killed himself. And I think I'm leaning more towards him killing himself.
Yeah, because he knew he was going to be indicted for 3 murders.
One murder, not 3 murders.
We agree to disagree.
They are not connected. I
I'm
won't
I'm
take
with
their
you,
word.
Sandra.
Well, I thought they did pretty much say they're not connected. Don't know.
I did hear that once.
Okay, let's go to the affidavit because if not, I'll be here till I fall asleep.
Amen, Amber. Creepy with a capital C.
Yeah.
Okay, now
All
we're
right.
moving on
Moving on to
to
Barry's
another creepy
affidavit,
man.
and I read here and it said Barry deleted numerous calls between him and Suzanne from May the 4th to the 5th, and agents in April of 2021 asked why did he deleted the calls, and he said he did not recall doing that. You know, I thought was real weird about this. The agents even brought up about Comey and Hillary. They said that one of them said he knew that Comey was lying when he said I do not recall, because that's a commonplace that when people say I don't recall, that means they're lying. And Barry says it a lot in in the interviews. And you know, one thing Barry did tell the truth about is Barry interviewed with the FBI and CBI probably 30 times. He interviewed with them a whole lot, and it was unbelievable. Um, They said on January 7th, 2020, Barry's phone, he searched for some pretty, he just made some pretty, no other way to say it, just vulgar type sexual uh, type searches. Uh, I'm not going to read the top one there. You can read it. And older men, younger women, relationships. Uh, he also on January 8th, 2020, various phones searched Facebook on how can I reset my Facebook password because I can't access my email or mobile mail. And one more. And Barry's phone searched third base. My first, oh, I don't read that either. Dear Teen Diary, ninth grade, Emily 14, YouTube, discovered deleted web searches. Just some um, really perverted in a lot of ways. He was searching these things. Also, local snatchsex.com found a cute girl near Salalas, uh, Salada. Um,
Somebody, Lake Superior, wants to know: do you think Lauren Sharf and Suzanne's friends need to be concerned of their safety?
Lauren was threatened at one time while she was out there doing stuff. You know, it's like me or anybody else that has dealt with anybody in the past, like Lauren or police officers put people in jail, a lot of time in jail. You just not scared, but you're cautious. You know, somebody looks at you one way, they say, "Oh, I remember you from this or that." You just cautious. You tend to be, and I don't. I know some people don't believe in guns and don't believe in having guns in your house and all that, but that's why, as a police officer, that you are told basically you're given a lifetime gun permit when you retire, and they basically was told I was told you better wear a gun everywhere you go when you're in you're down there in the town because there are some people out here that would really love to do you harm. So you got to keep up with your own safety of you and your family for sure. Um, and she's already had, like I said, she was already threatened once. So I would, if I was her, I would just you know be careful. That's all. I wouldn't let it ruin my life, though. He's going to be monitored pretty well, being out, and he doesn't want to go back, I'm sure. Uh, Canine search, May the 23rd, 2020. Search teams, along with canine and canine handlers, bloodhound man trackers, searched the 19507 Puma Pass property. During the search, 3 different canines were used. Each of the 3 canines ran blindly and individually during the search. On the west area of the driveway in the parking area, uh, where a flatbed trailer and bobcat skid steer was parked, all 3 canines trained in final response alerted. The canines used to have been trained for a specific way to alert. But anyway, they alerted to detected possible human decon, decomp and remains on the top of the trailer. And here's what I gathered from that. They said, and they made a big point of, the FBI did, the guy, when Barry was talking to him out there beside the bobcat, he kept running his foot up and down on the blade of the bobcat. It was just weird. It was really weird. And like I said, all 3 of these canines hit for decomposition bodies on that trailer. So
Okay, Gabby, Kitty said, Gabby stated at one point that Brian was hearing voices. I think he had some kind of mental issue. Sorry, we're talking about, I'm sorry. They're still talking about Gabby.
yeah, that could be a problem. Why in the world she stayed with him if he was
As he
psychotic?
said, till death do us part.
Well, it doesn't matter. Uh, Also, the bobcat
Aw.
that Barry was using, um, the Sims card was removed, and says here that Deputy Randy, and I can't pronounce his last name, with the assistance FBI David Donia, removed the Sims card subscriber identity module from the Cal Amp device. This device learned basically on the Bobcat skid steer, uh, had services as a GPS tracking for the device. Um, and you talking about, we talked about this too. It's something I thought was real weird. On June 6, 2020, Barry closed on the 26040 property for $750,000. Uh, and then they went to the Bank of the West with a search warrant for accounts, and they found those 2 account numbers are deducted out. There was a deposit date of February 24, 2020 for 40,000 from Monex, which is like a stock fund, and
Can I read you one?
yeah.
Amber said, do you know if the canine hits could also be for animals since he was a hunter? Just curious.
These dogs that are trained for cadaver dogs are trained not to hit on anything but human scent, and human scent is totally different than animal scent. As far as the smell of a human body is totally different than the smell of an animal, even to just regular. What I'm talking about even is that's like a police officer smell coming into a house. You will smell it right away if it is human remains rather than just an animal.
Kim wanted to know if there was how Lauren was threatened. Do you know?
I'm not sure. I know it was enough where they pulled her off the scene of that when they had uh, Suzanne's brother out there was searching. The television crews pulled her off of that scene.
When questioned about job sites on Saturday, May 9th, 2020, Morgan stated she recalled an odd comment made by Barry. Morgan explained after they completed the beach at the River House, she rode with Barry to the next site. Morgan stated she commented pigs could eat an entire human body in 2 hours, and Barry commented that he would be able to bury a body and it would never be found.
Yeah, and I thought that. I mean, why does he tell something like that um, to her? I mean, say that. Why? Um, you know, I mean, why does she even say that? That's weird. Um, see if I can remember why. Oh, this is where what Barry had told out there to Lauren Sharp on the reports where he said he took a polygraph and passed it. Right here, uh, he was talking to a guy named Andrew, an attorney. Listen, uh, that he knew, and the attorney even said, "Why don't you, Barry? You needed to take this polygraph so law enforcement could focus somewhere else." And he refused. You know, and then he comes back and says, "I don't think I could pass polygraph." He tells this attorney that. So it wasn't his attorney; it was just attorney he knew. And then the attorney told agents about that.
The attorney waited and didn't say anything for him to clarify what he
Yeah,
was saying,
right.
and he said it gave him chills.
Yeah, it gave him chills about it. So Barry, he sit there and lied to all of us that he never took a polygraph. And I know a lot of you say, well, polygraph's not admissible in court. No, but they're a good way to rule you out.
I wouldn't take one.
I've taken about 6, 7 of them.
I know, but I wouldn't take one
Why?
because I ain't got nothing to lie about.
That's the thing. You take one to prove you're not lying.
No, I don't want to take one to prove I'm not lying when I'm not lying.
Okay. Read that for me, please.
Which part? October 20th? October 20th through December 20th. Can y'all hear me? Holly Wilson recorded her phone and in person conversation with Barry, providing those recordings to the SA Cruising. Holly
Yeah,
and her
that's special agent.
okay. Holly and her husband, Jeff Wilson, knew Barry and Susan very well through their church in Indiana. During these recordings, Barry told Holly words to this effect: "You are Susan to me." He held her hand while in the car, gave her a kiss goodnight, and told her Susan would approve of whatever would happen in their relationship. Oh
And
my
she's
gosh.
married
And
now. She's married.
twice touched. Wait a minute. Gave her a good kiss goodnight. Uh, and twice touched Helen's breast, pretending like those touches were accident when her husband's head was turned away and not looking. Barry, now I wonder what her husband thinks now.
Yeah.
Barry told
Holly.
Holly that he had an ex FBI guy working for him, and sometimes he says he had a private investigator working for him who charged him over $50,000. Once Barry told Holly and Jeff that he had found where someone was holding Susan and asked Jeff to come to Colorado to cut the. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Special Agent Gushing said agents do not intend to investigate this identity indefinitely, but Barry is the best source of information versus other people who do not know. Barry asked, and what about immunity? Can you give me immunity if I sit and just open up my life to you? Now, if he hadn't done anything wrong, why does he need immunity? Go ahead and read that for me.
Oh. S.A. Grusing said agents do not intend to Oops, it went away. Okay. Barry was shown a photo. I'm running behind you. That's what
Okay.
happened. Shown a photo of RTD stop and asked about it. Barry said he pulled over there something job site. There was a trash can right there, and he just took his stuff out of the truck. Barry said wherever he threw away was probably just sitting there in his seat. Barry said he couldn't tell agents what it was, but it wasn't worth anything. Barry said it was just junk, probably wrappers, cans. Agents labeled this as Trash Run 1.
See, here's what you got to understand. Barry went to several different trash cans, and that's talking about
Wasn't it like
dumpsters, five or six, and have him on video on most of them. Went out there and dumped something in the trash after leaving his house, where supposedly Suzanne was sleeping.
More?
Uh,
Barry was shown satellite image of the south side of the hotel where his truck was parked. Barry said he remembered why he was there. Barry said he was waiting for someone to come out of the door.
Wait a minute. I cut you off, didn't I?
You did. Come out of the door and go and get free breakfast. They labeled that Trash Run number 2. Barry was shown photos from the video surveillance of him carrying things, including boots, into the hotel. Barry said he doesn't even remember carrying the boots into the hotel. Then Barry said he remembered he took them into the hotel to take the laces out. Said the boots had holes in them and he wanted to save the laces, so he took the laces out. Barry was asked about the blue something. What the heck? Who takes? That's crazy.
Crazy talk.
That's crazy talk. Sandra said that tells me he's murdered before.
Okay, go ahead. Read that for me, please.
Starting where?
At the top.
The items he was said it looked like the swimsuit and asked if they got it from his truck. Barry asked the agent if he remembers what was in the garbage bag. Barry said it was probably his something. I can't see it on here. Probably Barry.
Oh. Let's see. Barry
was asked about changing his shirt that day, and he said he did because it was hot. Barry was shown photos from the video surveillance and asked about his McDonald's trash run. Barry said he was pushing it down because the trash was on the top, and he was pushing it down so it would fit. Barry asked about the small item was that he was throwing away, and he said he couldn't remember. Barry said he does it all the time, and it's just him. Barry said, I know it looks bad, and it's probably looked bad to Joe, but there's nothing there. That was Trash Run number 3.
Let's see. I just can't read tonight for some reason. Go ahead.
Barry was shown a map of Men's Warehouse parking lot and told that he stopped there. Agents asked he took things to the dumpster there, and Barry said, not to my knowledge. Barry was asked if he took things to the trash. He replied, I could have. Barry was told he was there about 40 minutes and asked if he remembered what he was doing there. Barry said, I think I was cleaning my truck. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, like I was just you. I would probably getting crap out of my truck, which I've done my whole life. That was number 4. Barry was shown a photograph of a binder of him carrying into the hotel. Barry said it was papers related to a job he could study and prepare for the job. Barry was asked about changing from black to gray shirt. Barry said it was because gray would reflect the sun. Barry was said again that from what he's seen, Suzanne left. He wants to go to Mexico to find her, adding Suzanne wouldn't have gone through the border and wondered if she had $70,000. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it's basically Barry is just muddy in the water. He's talking about money, Mexico. He goes on to say that she had a drinking and drug problem. He's just muddy in the water.
Lord have mercy.
Barry said, "So I wasn't opposed to that day, and I surely wasn't going to bring it up. If I brought those things up, it's just cause of fight, and she'll start something. So just let it go." I don't know what we were talking about. I think it's the last part of that
Black Widow, yes.
sentence.
This is another case. This one is not about Gabby.
This is Barry Morphew's
Barry
arrest
Morphew.
affidavit that came out, and I didn't copy it all. It's just a couple more pages, and then we're going to talk about this other.
This Black Widow. This is the case that launched the Missing Live Stream YouTube page. When Tommy found out about Barry Morphew, he was furious, and he got on here and just began to rant and rave.
Rant and rave.
Rant and rave. I don't know. That day you challenged, I don't know. It was ranting and raving.
FBI said it was executing a search warrant Monday morning at the home of Brian Laundrie. Now, I don't know. This is going back to Brian for a minute. I apologize for going back here, but I wanted to tell y'all that they issued this search warrant, and I don't know why that was in that spot. Let me go back over here too. This is Lauren when she was talking to you. She said they asked Barry to surrender his passport. He can't reside outside Chaffee County. It is the court. It is this court that has to monitor him. Just left the courtroom with a private investigator. Let's see, Mallory Morphew just left the courtroom with a private investigator. I want you here in Chaffee County that I know you'll be close by, and this is the judge, apparently. Here's a map of how big Chaffee County is. Reference as of 2020 census. Population is 19,476. Chaffee County was carved out of a lake 1879 and named for Colorado's first senator. So basically he's supposed to be at home, but with that much money on the line in his life, he could run. Now let's go back and talk about Gabby and them for a little bit. I really believe that they will. Hold on a minute, please. That they will end up charging the parents with something just because they've made it extremely difficult to to just get info. What?
That's my computer's messing up.
Any questions before we go? and I hate to say go because we're gonna be we're gonna hopefully try to go to bed a little bit early so I can catch up on my sleep.
Yes, Beach Bum, I agree with you 100%. That's a case that
What?
needs to be reopened. Michael
What?
Chambers' case. Black
Yeah.
Widow had not heard about Barry, and I told her that she could check it out. That was the for you.
Right.
But anyway, then I told her the Michael Chambers case. Okay, what do you think so far? Maui wants to know. On which case, Maui?
Which case you talking about, Barry? Well, let me just start. I think Barry. Um, I just wish the rest affidavit would have had a more. I would yes. I wish the rest affidavit would have had more substance for kind of like a more evidence. I mean, it's got more evidence than the preliminary hearing. I'll say that. Um, it does establish a lot of circumstantial evidence. Um, they're going to need more for the trial. They're going to need a lot more, I think, to get a conviction. And hopefully they have a lot more when it comes to talk about disposing of the evidence and mishandling of a human corpse and a lot of other stuff that the charges are. I want to know how they develop that charges.
Okay, Catherine wants to know: do you think Brian harmed himself
I
or
think
will harm
I
himself?
think it's highly probability that he is not alive, and because he has got to see the writing on the wall. Skitty, yeah. My big deal about headaches and stuff, or is it's all this sinus thing.
He really, when the weather's
The
acting
weather
up,
act up. That's what I do. I get a bad headache. I started taking my Claritin again, and it seems to help. I don't think I could do a sleep study. I don't want nobody to sit there watching me sleep. I don't think I
they'd
could
have to have
even do it.
earplugs because
Why?
you snore
Oh,
bad.
well, a lot of it's because I'm overweight again. Uh, I doubt mom and daddy pay his bail money, Black Widow. I don't, I don't. I asked somebody else. I was very surprised that Morphew was able to come up with $500,000 cash, but because I thought he had, had his money tied up in other stuff, but apparently not. That may be a reason why he sold all that stuff was he knew he was going to need it. He knew he was going to need it, that much money, you know.
I tried to do sleep study, can't do it with glue in your hair. Good evening. Heard not confirmed that money was needed for storage by him. That makes me believe there is a chance he'd killed those two women.
You know, if you, if, you know, I know that by this is the first homicide they've had in Moab, probably, I think they said 20 years. But what is the reason why he did it? That's all I want to know. Um, yeah. I think his defense team, Maui, if that's what you're talking about, I think Barry's defense team will charge him $500,000 at least. At least.
Hey, they're saying Alka-Seltzer helps with headaches. When were the ladies killed? What day? And somebody said, did you notice the red mark on Gabby's arm?
I didn't notice that. Is this
No, he ain't watching the
is that
live stream.
Tony?
Where?
Is this Tony?
Where?
The one right now I'm highlighting right there.
Yeah, the rabbit hole. That's Tony.
Hey Tony. Uh
Tony ought to be on here.
yeah, he should be on here.
Oh, he said it's all the gray hair giving you a headache.
Yeah,
You should
Tony.
know.
You should know. You got twice as many as I do.
He won't let me cut it, Tony.
That case, some women over lady. I don't think the case with the two women are related to Brian because Brian's the reason why I think we're going to see kill Gabby was because of jealousy, because he was jealous of this blog type thing that she wanted to do. I think that he saw that she wanted to call off the wedding. Headache twins. He wanted to call off the wedding, or she wanted to call off the wedding for a while. I think she was starting to see the real Brian, and it was a case. You're right, now. It was a case of domestic violence. It went too far. There's no doubt.
Well, the women were killed.
The women were killed
the day before the police had contact with them. That's what Catherine said.
But I think that they said a creepy guy was hanging around there.
That's him.
Well, he is creepy, but he mostly was with Gabby all the time. He wasn't away from Gabby.
You don't know that.
Well, I mean, that's what it appeared to be. I don't think it had anything to do with that. I really don't.
Well, okay, Maui, the ladies are a hate case. Are they Brian's hate case because he saw Gabby talking to him and maybe she confided in them what was going on? I don't know. That hit me as bizarre.
Well, no. Look, these were they were a lesbian couple. They just got married. I don't think he held any hatred for. He's not.
It's not that. If Gabby was talking to them and confiding in them,
that doesn't have. I don't think so.
Interfering. That's right. Women interfering.
I don't think so. I don't know. We'll find out though. But law enforcement has looked at this out there, and they say that there's not any connection. I think they would know more than we do. I don't think so at all.
Liz says the LE has pretty much ruled him out on that.
Yes. No evidence of it.
Beach Bum says, I was thinking of a case of revenge too because of the last report. Yeah, he may have been non-approving of Gabby talking to them. That's true.
I just don't, if the police are saying, no, they don't believe it's connected, don't you believe that they have more insight in this than you do? Hmm.
What? Were you talking to me? I'm sorry. Get Anthony up here on this picture.
Anthony's been on this picture.
How long has the search for Brian gone on? They said they stopped because of the alligators and the snakes and stuff.
Well, they said that and the fact that they don't believe because they searched with airplanes and all these people that they don't believe that
Anthony's got a good point there. I
Wait,
said the
who
parents.
would pick up a Mustang and leave their son without transportation on a hike? Yeah, I agree with that. Also, I found out what my question was the other day. The parents said they went out there where he said he was going to go hiking. They found a note on his car, and then they came back and got the car. So I wondered what the note was. Somebody said, and one of the things I heard about was the note said, "Pick up the car, we're going to tow it." That it came from the city. So that could have been it. You know, that they could have called out there to the parents and said, "Hey, we this car's got a warning on it. Y'all need to pick it up." And they say, "Well, our son's driving it. Well, he's hiking. Well, he can call us when he needs, or call you when he needs to come get his car, because that may be why." Yeah, and the note was supposedly by a ranger saying the car is,
Why
is
didn't the parents call the police and say our son's Mustang is at this place?
because he hiked a lot. It wasn't nothing for him to go out
I
hiking for
think that they're
3 or 4
helping him get
days.
away unless he's going to kill himself.
Well, I think there's a high possibility of him killing himself.
I agree, Anthony. And
Another
Tommy and I had a
hinder in
long
going
talk
of this
about
kind.
this. Yeah, how did the Camaro leave and come back without notice?
It wasn't a Camaro though; it was a Mustang. I don't know.
They called the police 3 days later.
Yeah, the son said, I'm going for a hike." I don't know why he would go for a hike with his fiance missing in the desert, but
He told his parents he was going to do that.
go for a hike.
Boy, this
Yeah.
just gets better and better, doesn't it? Them parents is, man, they'll be lucky if they don't go to jail. Indeed, the rabbit hole.
Indeed, the rabbit hole. Yeah, the parents are complicit, I think.
It's a story, a hoax they made up. Who made up what story?
The parents made a hoax story up about her son going hiking.
Okay. Okay, it's Alka Seltzer Plus that they want you to try for a headache.
I can't do Alka-Seltzer
Yes, you
Plus.
can. Hold your nose and drink it. If
No,
I
I mean I can't, cause some of the medicine I take, it
might make you crazier.
I don't think so.
I'm from LI. He's totally normal where I'm from. He would seem weird in most places.
Kathleen McClure, the I used to scuba dive with my instructor was the last name McClure. He was from Huntsville, Alabama. I wonder if y'all are any relationship.
Yeah,
Hey,
Tony.
Tony, you need to put your link up here so when you start, I don't know if he's got any videos up there on it. I think I know. Well, when I come down there in um,
January.
January for a month, uh, I'm gonna get him set up one way or the other. I'm gonna force him to get into it. Oh, maybe we'll even get some pictures of some UFOs while we're down there, Tony.
Oh,
You remind me of my grandparents.
hey, old,
Oh, you remind too,
hey, old grandpa.
Grandpa. I got
Oh
you,
my
Grandpa.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Anthony, y'all should not have put that on there with Anthony on here.
Yeah,
Oh Lord.
for real.
That is bad.
That's bad. I hope you know what? I don't realize, I really don't realize I'm old. I don't.
Kim Conley, she says, I hope they give
Papa.
Hey, they hope they give Brian's parents a little break because her first reaction would be to protect her child.
Yes, but if she knows where he's at, just give it up. Santa without a beard, you got a lot to be talking about there, Tony
Hey,
boy.
you know what? In all in all kidding aside, we would love nothing more than to have the name of Saba and Mami,
Hmm.
which Saba is grandfather in Jewish Hebrew, sorry, Hebrew, and Mami is what Tommy called his grandmother. However, God may have a different plan. We may not have grandchildren, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay. We'll be somebody else's grandparents.
Yeah. Mm.
See, Sketty, that's what I said. I'd have marched my kid's butt into the police station because I just would not want this hanging over.
Yeah, you say that, but you're talking about if you knew your son or daughter uh, is going to do life without parole. You know what I mean? What did you put?
Uh,
You can send me a link so I can chat, but we'll have to send it to me on Messenger. You talking about Facebook Messenger?
who?
Tony.
Oh, okay. Listen, wait a minute. The DJ brand, Dollar General brand, doesn't have Tylenol in it. It has aspirin, and it doesn't taste anything like regular Alka Seltzer. We will get some. I'll make him hold his nose and try it. Amber, that's I guess. Well, we've just got more kids.
Mm.
See, Tommy and I talked about um, where'd we go?
I'm there.
Are you there? Tommy and I talked about if one of our children was Brian, how we would have handled it. And the first thing when my son called me, I would have said, calm down. You're obviously upset. Call 911, get the police out there. Don't say anything, just get them out there and see if they can help. And then from there,
But, you know, and I understand a little bit about how,
all right, wait a minute, James.
how a parent could at first say, calm down, let's think this over. But by not coming forward and just saying, hey, um, you know,
Okay, so
I don't know.
Jameson says his current lawyer is a real estate attorney. I give 95% that Joe Bass takes over as lead counsel if they
Yeah.
find Brian.
Skitty, what did you say? Uh,
She said,
Jameson
my
what?
says his current lawyer is
Hey, I
a
got
real
a
estate
echo.
attorney. I get 95% that
What got
Joe.
an echo?
Do you have an echo now?
No.
no.
I
Skitty.
was watching y'all on YouTube.
Okay, Skitty. You
Says,
said
I've done it. My child was drunk underage and thought she'd killed someone. Oh my gosh.
that
Had to be horrible for both of you.
that had to be horrible for sure.
There, y'all got Tony now.
Yeah,
Two
and
gray-headed grandpas with
he's got his hair is a lot more lighter than mine is.
Mine's
His is
shorter too.
yeah.
like
I'm gonna cut it
no,
again.
you're not either. I ain't cutting my hair till next year.
I'll get him when he's asleep, Tony.
Oh, you
My
ain't.
glasses are messed up.
I got some cutters. Okay, Greg says, what a story this is. Absolutely. Listen, some of y'all are new to our channel, and if you want to go back and watch the video that we did on Michael Chambers, that one will blow your mind. Just follow the leads about how it lays out, and you'll just be going, what the heck? I mean, it's like everybody was in on that.
Skitty, what did you do? What did you do when you in that situation? when you didn't know if your child had done that or not. I shook so hard I could barely drive. I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, a situation like that is very, very hard to say. Uh, what will the FBI do when they find Brian and he's okay? I think he's going to be taken in for questioning, and I wouldn't doubt within a week that they don't have a warrant for him. Don't you think so, Anthony? I mean, Tony.
I would think. I would think they probably have a warrant for him right now.
I mean, I said that when I saw those 400 officers out there checking that swamp, that it was a little bit more serious than a missing person. You
Yeah.
know.
The
Yeah, I would
neighbors,
think.
the neighbors are begging him to turn himself in. I guess they're overrun with news.
Have you
Yeah,
read
I would.
that
I would
today?
hate to know that I was a next door neighbor to where they live there in Tampa.
They're not releasing the actual cause of death, other than to say it was homicide. And I think they're waiting on tox reports before they give a completely. Hey, Anthony, Tony, did you read that the Morphew affidavit?
No.
It's 136 pages. I can send you the link.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's a big brief.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the lawyer knows where Brian is, it is no, he's not. A lawyer cannot tell anything that Brian has told to him because it would be violation of client privilege.
It depends on the client, obviously.
Vivian, thank you. We appreciate
Right,
the
Anthony?
super sticker.
Say that again.
It depends on the client whether the attorneys can be forced to talk. Isn't that true?
Well, it just depends on the merits of how they have the information and where their role was
But
in the
if their offices are if their offices are
Hush.
busted into and all their records taken, and then they want to, no, never mind. You had to be there. You had to be there.
Yeah, Florida has the Baker Act. That's true. They can take him into custody.
Thanks,
If he
Vivian.
is suicidal, they can take him into custody and put him in a mental hospital for 3 days under the Baker Act. Yeah,
every state should really have a Baker Act for circumstances.
yeah. I like the idea though of going before a judge and getting a court order rather than just somebody deciding that you you are mentally ill. Officer at the scene, you know.
Well, no, I'm talking about like if they've got them on body cam and they're presenting certain criteria clues of what's going on for their safety, then yes, they should be able to,
Uh,
get them the medical help that they need, because that's really what it boils down to. It's not necessarily putting them in a jail cell. It's more about getting them to the appropriate medical facility.
All right. Greg asked if he becomes a suspect, the lawyer has to, doesn't he?
No, the lawyer cannot.
No, a
He
lawyer a lawyer is not supposed to
thing
divulge whatever
that
their client
Brian
is,
could come to him and tell
attorney-client
that
privilege.
lawyer. Yeah, Brian could come to him and tell that lawyer he killed her, and tell him absolutely where he if say Gabby had not been found, he could have went to that lawyer and said, "I did it. This is where she's buried," and and that lawyer can never, ever, ever tell anybody. If he does, he loses his license to practice law, and that information cannot be used in court if it's gained through illegal means or through the lawyer, which you know, it just can't do it.
Greg said that's what he had been. That's what he had heard. He was just saying that.
Yeah,
Now, I only came in to. I don't know how long y'all had been broadcasting. Did you mention in the? Because I was only able to watch 20 minutes in to that police video, but 20 minutes in, I could already see that some of the things that they had documented in the police report were not what that took place at the scene with that video. So, saying that, did you already address that?
No, go ahead.
Well, I noticed that because when we were talking the last time, I don't remember who asked a question on here. I don't remember what their name was, but um, I remember there was an issue about the cell phones. And on the video, it plainly says he didn't have a cell phone, only she had a cell phone. Do what? But then he pulled one out of his pocket later.
Yeah, there's some wishy washy if he had a cell phone or not. I don't know that
Mhm.
deal with it.
Well, that's one thing that if if he did have a cell phone at any time during that, then that should have been a red flag in the report as well, that he had notified them that he didn't have one, but then later on in the discovery of the ongoing, side of the road meeting that he had with the officers, that in fact he did have one. That's but I know that you probably saw the same thing I saw. He was showing different cues of deception when he was talking to them.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned here they thought they had. Somebody said they had cameras in the swamp area. They don't. Today they were talking about no cameras down there in the swamp area. But right now the river, the swamps up because of all the tropical storms, and they said they're full of alligators, snakes, and it's making it very, very difficult to be back in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and one thing too that I don't understand about the whole thing, Gabby says that she was punching him in the arm, and that's why it was kind of like they were almost where they had to arrest her. But the first caller, and I heard it today, the first caller said, I just passed a white van. There's a man and a woman in the van, and the man is slapping the female upside the head several times. So why didn't the police act on that, on the witness they had to begin with, and just go ahead and throw him in jail?
Hmm.
No,
Yeah,
no.
that whole the whole thing seems really squirrely. I'm going to go back and watch the rest of that though to see more of what I could dissect from it. But
But
uh,
Anthony,
it appeared to me, just my opinion, it appeared to me that both of them were trying to hide something,
yeah,
just in the way that each of them were delivering to the police information. Um, there was something was really shaky on that stop. But I don't really know if those officers would have, maybe they just didn't have the time on or or the experience yet to maybe pick up some of those deception clues. I don't really know, but
Bye, Black Widow.
but Anthony, one of the things that I think about, because both of you and Tommy being retired law enforcement, is,
mhm.
don't you think that this is now eating at those cops? We need to
Oh
pray
yeah,
for them.
oh yeah,
We need to pray for
absolutely,
them because it's bad. It is.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're and it's no fault to them. The unfortunate thing is law enforcement. Um, People tend to really, I guess you'd say, lean heavy on some of their what they would perceive to be a trained officer, but there are a lot of officers out there that really don't have a lot of extensive training, but they're put out there to do a job where they're supposed to put on a hat, being the counselor, the interpreter of the law, the enforcer of the law, and all these other things. And all law enforcement officers, that's why we're supposed to be doing training yearly, is to keep these officers trained and experienced and have better knowledge. I think every street officer should have at least a basic understanding of investigation 101, but a lot of officers don't get even that. They come out of the police academy and they don't really have a full understanding of even street investigations. And what I mean by that is you have street level crimes that take place. They might do a traffic stop for someone speeding, but they will overlook what might actually be there or might be afoot right up under their nose, but they don't even realize or see what really else is going on there. So again, it's just, it's a lack of training.
I think if the dispatcher would have told those officers that, hey, we had a call, and the caller said the male was hitting the female in the face, that would have made a big difference at the scene. But that dispatcher never said that.
Greg said,
Yeah.
did you guys hear about his IG going live for seconds and he was on a boat?
IG?
I think that's
Instagram? No, that wouldn't be Instagram.
well, somebody might have thought it. IG might be Instagram. Think it. Instagram.
Maybe.
IG. No, I didn't hear about that.
No, I didn't hear about that either.
Instagram. Somebody said that. I was just telling them before you came on here, Tony, they had a call down at Tillman's Corner, said they thought they saw him down there, and then all of a sudden discovered a body in the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
But the body in the dumpster turned out not to be Brian. I don't know. I didn't hear who it was, but when he can, Tony can testify to this. It's every night on the news somebody's dead in Mobile, so it's not like that's not unusual at all.
No.
No, there's different cities in the United States that people don't have a clue what really goes on, but there's a lot of murder, mayhem, assaults, all kinds of stuff going on all the time.
Well, and in fairness to the police, you've got this society's, it looks like society's turned against the police, but it's a very small number that are just loud and obnoxious. Defund the police, get rid of the police. And so you're having to work in an environment like that and try to keep everything together and keep peace and all. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, listen, if any of y'all have not gone over and subscribed to the 1 million mile road trip, that's our RV channel, I would sincerely appreciate you doing that for us. They did shut his Instagram down. I didn't know that. I knew that somebody had shut Gabby's down.
Well, I sure am glad to know that Medina knew exactly what the IG stands for. See, I'm not.
High five me.
I guess you'd say.
High five me.
I'm not schooled on all this lingo. This.
Well, I've been putting a lot of videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
They like our puppy.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on here, Tony. We're gonna go though. We've got to try to we're in Nashville behind a Cracker Barrel right now, but we are gonna try to get a.
It is not a very good neighborhood.
No, it's not. And we're gonna try to get a campsite up here.
Well, I sure hope you're packing.
Well,
we got a dog that barks really loud.
And I've got something in the back closet too that would deter some activity.
Well, just do me a favor. Don't run out there ever and try to be Andy Griffith. That ain't going to work.
No, I'll be Barney with one bullet.
Hey, I'll be standing in front of him going, no, do not go out there. Call 911. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm asking you to come back soon, Tony. They do
I
have good
will.
Teresa, they do have good food.
Uh, come back. They say come back soon, Tony.
Well, I
You
guess
hear
whenever
that?
you invite me.
Y'all hear that siren? That's the second one I've heard tonight, close by.
Well, you being in that mobile home there, you be real careful if you hear shots being fired, because
Oh yeah, I got thin
I
walls for
didn't think
sure.
you got
about that.
you got
What?
very thin walls.
Yeah, starting getting rough. I must drive off.
We didn't
You
unhook
know,
the
that is a
Jeep.
nice thing. You go into a neighborhood, you don't like the surroundings, you just drive your house on down the road.
That's right.
That's right. We are heading north to see the leaves change. And
Maybe
cooler
to
weather.
the weather. That's for sure. All
Thank
right,
y'all.
Well,
let's.
well,
We're gonna go.
if you would start selling beads and some other weird trinkets, we could just call you gypsies.
There you go. Somebody commented
I'll put
last
some
week.
bells on Tommy's ankles and his fingers. Put some
Oh, you
bells on.
did?
I'll do that and let him dance around. Get some hanging from his ear. Let him dance around. And I'll put that on Instagram.
Okay.
That might get a lot of looks.
No,
You can do the hula hoop.
no.
Well, you might consider go ahead and getting him one of those little tracer things and GPS tracers and stick on the inside of his shirt on the tag area. That way, you don't even realize that it's there. That way, if he does walk off, you could find him.
There you
Greg,
go.
what state are you in? Greg says you coming up my way. What state you in? Average Joe subscribe. Thank you, Average Joe.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate all of you that subscribe to both of our channels. We're really just trying to get our RV channel up and running. We're running about 730
Michigan, the
or
mitten.
so.
That's where we're coming. We were in the UP earlier this year and absolutely love Mackinac Island, and we're headed back up there, hopefully to see the leaves change. Greg, do you have leaves changing right now? Okay, the 911 call happened earlier that day before the police stopped Gabby and them.
Okay.
Thank you, Teresa, for going and subscribing.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Okay. We are going to go, though, because I have got to get a hold of, find out what we're doing tomorrow for sure.
Okay, Gary, if you don't mind, let us know when the leaves are changing. We'll be on again Thursday night. We're trying to make it up to the UP in time to see the beautiful trees. Oh, I like that, Sketty. I would die for my children, but I will not lie for them.
That's good.
That is good. My husband and I are looking for a slide-in camper. I don't know what a slide-in camper is. Kim, what's a slide-in camper? Oh, Ohio. Well, we're headed to Ohio. Actually, we're headed there first and then over to
Tomorrow,
Michigan.
actually, hopefully.
They started changing here mid-October in New York State.
Wow.
All right, we know where the leaves are changing.
All right.
We'll
Well,
see y'all
Supposed to
Thursday
be
night.
supposed to be cold in the south. Come Thursday.
Get down, what, 75 next week?
60, they said 60.
Oh,
Anthony, when they were talking about Barry changing his shirt 2 or 3 times, well,
Yeah.
Tommy changes his about 5 times in a day in the summer in the South.
He does.
Oh my gosh, it's so hot.
all
Well,
right.
I'm just hey, before you hang up, I'm just kind of curious. Are you wearing red pants with those suspenders?
No, I got blue jeans on. Thank you very much. See, blue jeans.
Oh,
You
my
funny.
gosh.
You funny.
Ho, ho, ho.
No.
You can't say ho, ho.
No, I don't say that.
Come
All
on.
right. Well, we'll see
We're
y'all.
just like Abbott and Costello, aren't we? Who's on first?
Yeah. Love you guys. Talk
See
to
you
you
later,
soon.
Tony.
Bye,
All right,
Tony.
see ya. Bye bye.
Where am I at?